A Life for a Life is showing on Ruth Kadiri 24/7. So if you haven't seen it, this is her latest movie. A Life for a Life talk about a man who got himself drunk to steeple and hit a car that took away a man. Now, this man has a family, and due to this incident, the family, obviously, the woman is now a widow with a daughter. This man got himself sacked due to the depression he's going through and the guilt he feels all the time. And this also affected him not paying his rent. So he now decides to live with his friend and ended up falling in love with the neighbor. After to find out that this widow is the husband to the man he hit and ran. So you can just imagine how the tense of events went through whilst you watch this movie, A Life for a Life. If you haven't seen it, it's on Ruth Kadiri 24/7. Let's talk cast. Let's start with Francesben. Now, Francesben, she has her own channel as well, which obviously she produces movie on that. If you don't know, I'm telling you. Francesben played this widow who, lost the husband and she now becomes a single mother. Because of the loss, she has this strong wall around her when it comes to men, and she's just overprotective of her daughter. But obviously, when you have the strong wall, there's always going to be someone who can break those walls down. She she was good actually. Yeah, I love the side where she found out the truth. I love that scene so much. She gave it her all. I love the way she acted in that scene because if not for those friends, she would have used something to hit Toosweet Annan said. I like that. I like that display of how she was able to convey that, finding out the truth. And I also love the scenes where she was mean to, Too Sweet, and those scenes were quite interesting to watch. Behaving like that in front of your daughter is quite dicey. The your neighbor hasn't done anything to you, but you're just automatically mean. What are you teaching your daughter? Well, that is just something I'm just thinking out loud, guys. This has nothing to do with her character. But yeah, she acting that was very good to watch her do that. And another thing I like about her role was her costume. She looks really pretty. I love the short wig she wore. I mean, this hairstyle was in the early 2000. Well, it's the early 2000. I think this kind of hair is coming back very soon. A lot of ladies are doing low cut now, and that's really nice. Yeah, so her costume, working, widow or single mom, she looks really good. Makeup, hair, and wardrobe, everything about that was really good. So that was quite impressive seeing that as well. Then let's talk about Too Sweet Annan. He obviously was the character that became a drunkard and just feeling the guilt. So you got drunk, you hit someone, you hit and run, then you ended up being a drunk. Like, who does that? Who does that? That's a question mark I'm giving to Ruth Kadiri and her crew. But yeah, I mean, in real life, people actually do hit and run and they become drunkard. I mean, I can understand. It's Nollywood, so it's fiction. You don't expect it to be relatable all the time. So I get that. Two Sweeterland was quite I can just count the number of can alcoholic he drank in this movie. They were a lot. Like every scene he's drinking, every scene he's drinking. He his purpose in this movie was just a guilty man who needed to confess to be free. That's basically how I saw his character. I wasn't really his character didn't move into frank. I'm like, because anytime I see him on screen, he's either drinking beer and trying to have a conversation with his neighbor, and I wasn't his character wasn't impressive for me. I just saw it like, okay, yeah, it was an okay performance, not a wow performance. If you give this role to someone else, the person would have nailed it to the T, or the person would have been able to make you love the character. Toosweet was just basic. That's what I'm saying. He didn't give a stellar performance. Then let's talk about these two friends. Oh yeah, Mercy. Mercy Onyeka and Raphael Atawa. They were the perfect couple. Were able to take in their friend. They were there, supportive. I love how they look so mature and very decent. They just acted as that perfect couple that is always there for their friend. I just love their character. They didn't give much, yes, because they were out of the picture. The storyline wasn't about them. So uh they didn't do much at all. They were just supportive. But I just love how they were a perfect couple. I mean, this has nothing to do with the storyline of the movie. I'm just saying something out of the movie. Yeah, they look good. They look mature. They look, you name it. Like, I just love that. And also, I love their costume in the movie. Which made them look also very presentable in terms of wardrobe wise, makeup and hair. And the braids on the guy, Raphael, was decent, was done properly, it wasn't tattered, it was put together. So I want to say the person in charge of wardrobe for this production did well. Everybody looked good. And then talking about cinematography, also, that was good. I think I love the cinematography of this movie. Yeah, very beautiful. I love that. Creeps. When it comes to Ruth Kadiri, at least her camera she uses to produce the movies. They are crisp and clear, or maybe the editing crew or whoever. They do well with that. So Kudoshi and Uchina Bonabo, I think their camera crew, they've updated it, and I think I like that very much. Then supporting cast in terms of the dancers, that was an L. What the hell was that? Was that party scene? What the hell was that? Like, guys, I would have preferred if they were having this party in an enclosed area. If it was at least in the house, in the room, in a club, like somewhere in an enclosed area, rather than the street, and you could see everybody was like one. What I mean by one mean male and female, male and female. That's what I mean. And oh my goodness, that scene was one of the worst scene I've seen so far on YouTube. What the hell is that? Like, you produce a movie for us to watch, and you are giving us such a very mid scene for us to what the hell was that? Then another thing I also want to talk about was the supposed kidney, I believe, transplant. Wait, what the hell was that? So yeah, that transplant made him to give up his life for the little girl, just because he also killed the father though. So yeah, I'm giving my life for you. He died out of complication, not because he killed himself, or yeah, that's the reason why he. So I think that's the title, a life for a life. Since you kill my father, you have to give me your liver, big kidney, to also survive. So that he felt the guilt. So that was the reason why he did that. Rating this movie, I'm going to give it 4/10. I like few things about the movie, so yeah, I'm going to be partial like that, because if I really want to rate this, it's going to be lower than that. Thank you so much, and for the support. I'll see you on the next video.